The Wheatley Group purchased the hotel on the 1st of April 2021 and I was brought in to manage the property due to my experience in homelessness and building-based services.
Hi, I'm Josephine BYRNE. I'm a housing officer with Glasgow Housing Association. I've been involved with the customers moving from Bellgrove to my patch. I think what's been key as a housing officer for this to happen quite smoothly is the effective working relationship that we've had with Wheatley Care and just how they've supported them and interacted with the housing officers so that we can get to know our customers a bit better and help out with their needs.
Hi there, my name is DARRAN Kennedy. I'm the Housing First Coordinator for the Wheatley Group. I've played a huge part in the role of moving all of our customers from the Bellgrove Hotel into mainstream tenancies. It was a remarkable achievement by all involved in being able to move as many people as we did in such a short space of time. This was achieved through positive partnership working and wouldn't have been able to have been achieved without that. All customers were able to get accommodation in areas where they had chosen to live through the Wheatley Group. We were able to furnish all of these properties in advance of these customers moving in and on some occasions decorating where that was required. The partnership working between HSCP, Wheatley Care and our partners at Glasgow City Council was instrumental in achieving this. Not to forget the huge efforts that was put in place by our contractors to turn these void properties over as quickly as they did in order to get people into these properties as quickly as we were able to do so and meet the timescales.
The staff team that worked here at the Bellgrove providing housing support were brought in from 3 different teams within Wheatley Care. Some staff came from the Forensic Service, some staff came from the Personalising SDS for Mental Health Service, and some staff were brought in from the Glasgow Flexible Housing Outreach Support Service. This afforded us a diverse range of skills, which in turn provided a comprehensive support for the people who were living in the hotel. We were unsure when we first came to the hotel the reception that we would receive. Having a support service within the hotel for 12 hours a day, it became clear very quickly that the engagement from the guys was significant. They were eager to meet the team, they were eager to discuss their support needs. And through extremely successful partnership working with HSCP and the individuals living within the hotel, we were quickly able to identify the best course of action in terms of move on for everybody who lived in the hotel.
One of the things we looked at throughout the course of the hotel work was the environment and where we as a team could provide support. We wanted an environment where we could provide a safe place, but it wasn't too overwhelming. We found that an open plan space created a comfortable and easygoing atmosphere. We were able to replicate this layout within the Bellgrove as well as have a booth-like set-up for privacy and confidentiality. The support we provided went at a pace that suited the individual, with Wheatley Care staff being available for when the individual felt the time was right for them. This worked exceptionally well, with the engagement levels being at their highest within the first 2 weeks.
I'm Henderson and I was the project lead for the closure of the Bellgrove for the HSCP. In March of this year, Wheatley, in conjunction with the council, managed to buy the building, which was really positive. What I think really worked was the really close working relationship with Wheatley Care. I'd already built up positive working relationships with the managers from Wheatley Care through the closure of the Alexander Thompson and the Charbel Lodge in Govan. And I think that made a huge difference to being able to move the men on effectively. We managed to work really closely with other parts of the HSCP, including addictions, mental health, adult services for older people, and the close working relationships that we were able to establish and influence the other RSLs to come on board. And we managed to rehouse everyone out of the 57 men. We managed to rehouse everyone apart from 19 who have gone on to live in supported accommodation and will be continually supported by the HSCP to eventually move to their own tenancy in line with the Refugee Housing Transition Plan.
Hi, my name is Glenda Lobes and I'm one of the caseworkers who was involved in the closure of Bellgrove. We engaged the men at the beginning of the closure programme. We went into the Bellgrove and we were the first people they met from Glasgow City Council, and we assessed the needs of the men and identifying the most appropriate move-on plan for the guys.
As a health and wellbeing coordinator, my role at the Bellgrove Hotel involved building trusting relationships with the people we work for. This enabled me to carry out individual person-centred Outcome Star assessments. Outcome Star is a collaborative tool that is used to identify persons' goals and jointly develop action plans to achieve these goals with the person. There are 10 outcomes in the STAR, and since introducing the support, there has been significant improvement in a number of areas, especially managing tenancy and accommodation, self-care and living skills, and alcohol and drug misuse.
Once Outcome Star assessments were completed, Health and Wellbeing coordinators organised multi-agency assessments involving the casework teams, Housing First, mental health and addiction teams and occupational therapists. This would help identify more suitable accommodation and support after moving on from the Bellgrove Hotel. All the individuals we worked with moved to one of the 3 housing destinations, namely a commission service, Scottish Secure Tenancy with outreach support, or Scottish Secure Tenancy with no long-term support for those who did not require it.
The first individual to move on from the Bellgrove is living within a GHA tenancy and is receiving ongoing support from the tenancy support services. Weekly care staff working with the individuals living within the Bellgrove supported the individuals to move on successfully by arranging a van to move on, ensuring he had all the essential items to move in, such as furniture, food parcels and energy crisis fund. Staff also tapped into the Halliday Foundation, who provided the individual with items to make a house a home.
A big part of the work we carried out while working in the Bellgrove was liaising with Housing First to make sure when the individuals were moving on, all of their needs were being met. One of the individuals successfully moved into a GHA tenancy, and staff organised food parcels, also carried out wellbeing visits and phone calls to make sure the individual had a successful resettlement as possible. I've also noticed since doing the wellbeing visits a change in hygiene levels and a visible improvement in mood and general wellbeing for the individuals, as well as I'm feeling hopeful for the future and grateful for Wheatley staff.
Kenny, how long have you been staying here in Bellgrove?
3 or 4 years.
And how has it been for you?
It's been okay, it's a roof over my head. Gets me off the streets.
And now you're going to be moving into your own house?
Aye.
How has the process been so far? Did you get your first choice of the house?
Aye.
Yeah, was it the first choice?
That's what I asked for to try it, and I just had to wait for it to open.
How was it since Wheatley Care came over?
100,000,000% better.
What made it better?
Them.
The staff?
If you ask them to do something, they help you with anything you need help with.
So what kind of help did they give you?
Like housing, I wouldn't have known how to get in touch with them.
Yeah, Housing First?
Housing First. And paperwork, I can't really read or write, so if I need something, I'm not embarrassed to go to them to ask them, what does that say, or can you spell something for me?
This place is brilliant. I've not got a problem with any of the staff. I think the staff are doing a beautiful job. I love it in here, by the way.
Wheatley Group organisation have come in and took over. I've come in and they've made a lot of changes in here. They've come in, cleanliness and stuff like that. The support we're giving to people. They're there for you anytime, basically, you know what I mean? And so I've actually been moving into my own flat. Come Monday, I've just got a couple of things to get dealt with, and the staff in here are going to help me to do that as well as an aftercare system, because they keep in contact with you for the next 4 to 6 weeks after you move out of here as well. They've been helping me with a food parcel. They're helping me to get my benefits stuff sorted out. They're helping me to sort my rent and stuff, my gas, different things like that. Some people are not used to doing and don't really understand how to go about it, you know what I mean?